If the crowd is cheering, you should slow down. Not because the crowd is evil, but because the crowd is comfortable. Truth doesn't arrive with applause. It arrives like a whisper that makes you uneasy. It interrupts, it offends. It asks you to stand alone before it ever lets you stand tall. Look at history. The crowd mocked Noah while the sky was still blue. The crowd demanded Barabbas while truth stood silent beside him. The crowd cheered kings, crucified prophets, and apologized centuries later with statues. The majority has a terrible track record. Why? Because crowds don't think, they sink. They borrow confidence from numbers. They trade discernment for belonging. They confuse agreement with correctness. Consensus feels safe. It feels warm. It feels like you won't be targeted next. But truth has never needed a vote. Every major lie in history was once common sense. Every major truth was once labeled dangerous, extreme, or insane. The crowd doesn't ask, is this true? It asks, will I be punished if I disagree? That's the real pressure. And here's the uncomfortable part. Most people don't fear being wrong, they fear being alone. So they repeat what's trending. They adopt the approved outrage. They laugh when they're told to laugh. They boo when they're told to boo. And when the lie finally collapses, they say, I was just following along. But history doesn't remember followers. It remembers the ones who stood still while the crowd rushed past them. So ask yourself this, if you were alive back then, would you have been in the crowd? Because if you always agree with the majority, you're not awake, you're just surrounded. Stay awake. Stay unmovable. Stay rock solid.